Well, we have more now on what is happening in Afghanistan. The U.S. military is temporarily halting evacuation flights out of the Kabul airport, and it's because of scenes like this. As you can see, utter chaos as thousands of Afghans are there trying to flee the country. Hundreds have pushed their way onto the tarmac. And a New York Times Magazine correspondent says many rushed to the airport today on a rumor that they would be allowed to board planes to Canada. Canada is promising to take in 20,000 refugees who have already fled Afghanistan. And the Prime Minister says the federal government is working to get out Afghans who helped Canada over the years during their mission in the country. But as we heard earlier this hour from CBC News senior defense writer Murray Brewster, there won't be any more Canadian evacuation flights from Kabul. In fact, Canadian officials are now trying to get people out on other countries' evacuation flights. Now, as we watch these scenes unfold, there are Canadians with roots in Afghanistan who right now are fearing for the safety of their friends, their family, and the country. Tayiba Nasr is the president of the Afghan Socio-Cultural Association. She joins us right now in Jasper, Alberta. Tayiba, thank you for being with us today.
No, you're welcome. My pleasure.
You know, I'm wondering how you're feeling at this time. As we've been reporting, Kabul fell to the Taliban yesterday. The president fled the country. And now we're seeing these scenes of chaos at the airport where even evacuations have now been suspended. How are you feeling seeing this happen right now?
I'm feeling really sad and frustrated and, for the unknown, I don't know what's going to happen, what's next, so I'm just so feeling sorry for people who are trying to get out and they cannot get out.
Now, to my understanding, you have cousins, you have nieces, nephews in Afghanistan. Are you hearing from them at all? What are they saying about the situation on the ground?
I hear from some of them, and some of them escaped to the villages in remote areas. And the ones that stayed back in the city, I hear from them. They send videos, and they're telling us what's happening. So I'm from Herat city, and most of my relatives are in Herat. So they say the Taliban took over. They're walking around with the rifles in their hands, and nobody's there to stop them and fight them. So they're all over the place.
And what is the fear right now? And I hope you can help paint a picture here, because of course we're hearing the fear and the concern from Canadian veterans, from Afghan Canadians such as yourself. But what is the fear for those that don't understand why this has reached such crisis and worrying levels in the country?
Well, I'm not sure exactly how, this is working out or what the fear exactly is. From my relatives, what I'm hearing is that they're just scared for their safety, for their lives. And they're the ones that have lots of relatives who work for the government, who are commanders, who are with them in the military. So they're the most vulnerable ones, because if Taliban find out, they will kill them, they will execute them, they will put them in jails. So that's the fear.
And we've actually already been hearing reports of retaliation attacks against those that supported the former Afghan government, as well as the forces like Canada who are in the country. Now, you were in Afghanistan back in 2000, and that was before the Taliban was thrown out of power. Help us understand, if you will, what was life like under the Taliban?
So I went to in 2000 because my mother was still in Afghanistan, and of course my other relatives, my siblings, but mostly I went because of my mother. And so in there I had to wear burqa, which is the from head to toe covering, and I could just only see through the mesh cloth. And it was really, really hard in summertime, and it was hard to breathe underneath that, and I couldn't see properly, but I had to wear them. And also, I couldn't go outside without one of my male relatives. I couldn't take pictures or video outside. We couldn't listen to the music when we were even in our own homes. We were not allowed to listen to the music or watch TV. And women and girls, they were all sitting home, who were educated, who had the qualification to do work and to do stuff, but they were all sitting home and the schools were closed. So, and women were beating up if their leg would show up from under the burqa, or their hands would show up. They were beating up on the streets. So these are the things that I saw.
Now, as we stated, there is fears of retribution killings. There is fear amongst those who helped Canadian forces while they were in Afghanistan throughout the many years of the mission. And Canada has committed to taking some 20,000 refugees out of Afghanistan who've already fled. They also say that they're working to evacuate Afghans who did assist Canadian forces. But is this country doing enough, do you think?
I think it's great that Canada is helping, but I think we can do more. We can bring more Afghans. Their lots of lives are in danger, and we can afford it. Canada is a big country, thank God. So we can have more people to come, and if Canada can bring more, that would be great. Especially women and girls, that they will have no life there from now on. That's it. Their life is done because they cannot do anything. They just have to sit home or be married to a Talib. I heard stories that the Taliban are going, if they know there's a young girl in somebody's in a house, they would go and try to get that girl married to themselves, because they just, that's how they are. That's what they want.